No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give. Never gonna say goodbye, no. Never gonna say goodbye, no.
do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your feel it go and move to the rhythm. Now we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm. I wonder what went wrong today, Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember.
Oh, what's up, guys? Ooh. I'm gonna get on my phone real quick and see if I could hear myself. Okay, perfect. Just making sure my microphone's all on and everything. Sorry about my MacBook in the background. Sounds like a fighter jet going off. Oh, I see Alex. What's up, Alex? Tyler, Alex, and then I know a few others are watching, but um, they just aren't commenting just yet. Okay, and you know we're gonna make this a quick live stream. I think some people were expecting it to be like a 50 minute to an hour long live stream and whatnot, but um, I I have some TV to catch up to. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I got work to get to. I've been working all day since we got out of the Discord. So real quick. I don't know if I just messed up the. Sorry about that, guys. 1 second. Did I just mess it up? I don't think I did. Okay. Really quick. I don't. Hey, Alex, are you in the swing trade putt that we all entered? A lot of us jumped into a putt on SPY. It is falling. I mean, I entered whenever it started to push back up. So I entered actually at the bottom right here when it started pushing up for the swing trade putt, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I was like, I was trying to wait for this thing to go up, and then I buy in, and it does this. The only reason I bought in was because 15 minutes after the market closes, you could buy in, and I bought like 3 contracts. So looks like we're gonna be up on the day. Today was good, so before the huge drop. Oh no, no, but hey, like 20% though, because definitely 20% is not bad, and that was probably a decent sized position. Like I was up on SPY. I took a little 1% profit, and then took another 1% profit as a day trade. But my 2 swing trades, I took a 13% on DAL and a 16% on AMD today. We killed it today. Our whole entire team killed it today. It was actually pretty awesome. But I wanted to do some breakdowns real quick. Sorry about my voice, guys. It's like raspy because I've been talking all day and then nonstop I've been working. But we're gonna jump right into this. Okay, so to start, I wanted to go over SPY because SPY is one of the indicators that we trade on a day-to-day basis. Like literally, SPY is our ticker basically. So I wanted to go over the 4-hour really quick. I think the 4-hour is at a high price. So if you bought the 6-day expiration or any expiration after that and you're swinging a putt, if it were to end up opening high and you were to be down, I personally think, I mean, this is my opinion, but I think that that it's at such a high position that by the next 6 days, it'll be either where it's at or lower. So you'd be able to break even or cut a profit, most likely the profit. But I think honestly, after that trend down there, it already showed us signs of it losing momentum. And this is with no indicators, of course. I guarantee if I add indicators right now, my 3 main indicators, right? So we got all the indicators with with the MACD, the RSI, the EMA, SMA, and middle VWAP, or the VWAP in general. My 3 top ones, if I use them to clear my screen so it's not so crowded, would be simply just removing SMA and VWAP. So it'd be EMA, MACD, and RSI. There's a reason for that too, but you can see that on the 4-hour also, it broke below the EMA. So it hinted to us it was wanting to trim below the EMA here on the 4-hour. And now whenever you go below the EMA, typically you're wanting to, technically that's a good deal for a call, depending on the situation, the scenario, depending on past patterns and how it typically works, and it works itself out. But it is true that when it first peaks below EMA, it technically speaking has a good ways to trend before it becomes a good deal for a call. Because, buying a good deal is buying below average. So it makes sense on it being a good deal for a call, but it needs to trend. It needs to trend down. For example, when this broke above the EMA here, it pushed on up like quite a bit. When it broke above the EMA here, it pushed up came back down, and then continuously just kind of kept this gap in between the EMA and price. That's what I, oh crap. That's what I want to see with SPY right now, is keeping that gap in between the price and EMA. And then the MACD is at a high level, not the direction it's pointing. It's not, yes, it's pointing down. I guess some people could be like, oh, that's in our favor. I don't even look at that though. It's at a high level. Look at the level bars over here on the right side. It's at a very high level in my opinion. And that simply means it just has margin to come down. In the past, it was here. In the past, the most common area is here, 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 here. So bulls are going to think the good deals are in this area if you're a good deal hunter. So in my opinion, this isn't the best deal on the 4 hour. And, for a swing, that's good for us. But looking at the 1 hour, you don't want to typically rely on the 1 hour as a swing trading chart. I look at it personally, my 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 year for my swing trade, because it's just the 1 hour can tell you what's going to happen basically the next day, in my opinion. That's where I get my breakdowns from. But we have a lot of room to fall here. And yes, we'll probably get a little push up, like these little nudges here, how it comes down, it pushes up, and then fakes out and comes back down. We'll probably get a few of those, like down, up, down. We'll probably, I'm actually surprised we haven't already got one. And if we don't, then we might just, be on one of those lucky trades that just continuously trends down, maybe even gaps down. Because I said earlier that is possible. We are, we did have a gap up and never filled it. So you can't really see it with that. But if I turn off my, if I go to my settings and turn off equity extended hours, you could probably see it then. Yeah, there you go. See the gap up there that we had, starting here all the way down here. So yeah, we can definitely gap down and continuously trend down, and then we'd have a gap to fill on up, right? So as it continues to trend down, it becomes a better deal, and people will start seeing that gap down there if it does gap down. So it's definitely a possibility to gap down. I think personally, it didn't even fill this gap really. So it needs to fill those gaps. So that's why I said 295 is, if you see my Discord, I don't have it up right now, but if you see my Discord, then in Austin's watch list category, you'll see that my target is now, I updated to 250 or 297 to play it safe for the swing trade. But overall, 295 is definitely reasonable. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show that. Look at the MACD when you turn off extended hours, and then also the RSI. Typically in this area, it likes to trend down to oversold. In this area, trend down to oversold. In this area, trends down to oversold. So it's definitely possible just to continuously trend back down. I'm going to turn that back on real quick, the extended hours, before I forget. I'll trade like that the whole day tomorrow. I'm like, whoa, something's off. Okay, and then really quick, let's see. So really quick, I want to go over, so we went over SPY. I wanted to go over a few more. There was SPY, and then I wanted just to really quickly look at BIIB. I'm just curious on where it was at, because I can't believe the run up it had. Now that's a little ridiculous, and this is something that you need insider info on, most likely. No, you could just be playing it from the earnings. Past patterns typically show it pushes, so you could be just playing it and get a little bit of luck in there with that skill at the same time, a little mixture. So I'm thinking AMD. AMD looks like it's coming on down. This is the one I was up 16% on today. I actually bought puts way up here. So I bought puts up here and it held overnight. And I had a feeling it was going to come back down. I even told myself it can come right back down, repeating exactly what happened on the way up. But I honestly gave myself like a 50-50 shot on it. Like I told myself, okay, yes, it's extremely overbought. MACD shows that. RSI showed that. It's extremely overbought. And by the way, I was using 0 indicators when I took this trade. I was actually just basing it on price action like this. My support and resistance. I saw on the 4 hour that anywhere in this area seems to be the fake out. And every single time it touches this channel here, that's in this channel, it seems to go right back up. And then vice versa. Every single thing in this channel up here seems to go right back down. So I saw that it was a little above that channel, and I was like, okay, why not? If it goes back up, yes, there's a margin. I could be taking a loss, but my 14-day expiration should give me time for it to come back down. So, I understood that there was a risk involved, but at the same time, I took that because it was so overbought. It's a bad deal. Therefore, vice versa, it's a good deal for puts, but bad deal for calls. So, because it was so high. And when I add my three indicators, it kind of shows that too. Microsoft, I am up right now 89% on Microsoft. I'm almost hitting 100% on Microsoft. I put $16,000 in Microsoft, and I'm about to be pulling, I think I'm at 15.1K right now in profits. That's leaving my total investment around 30K. And so let's go look at it real quick. I've been putting it since 139.73, I believe, on Microsoft. Yeah, there we go. Whew. Yeah, so I've been putting it since up here. It fell down. It was at 140. I called it out when it was at its peak here because I saw the resistance. I saw that on the 4 hour, it was in this sideways trend. Every time it hits this resistance, trends down to its support. Resistance, down to its support. Resistance, down to its support. And now this isn't a bad area to sell because it does have this common area of bouncing. But you got to ask yourself, based on past patterns, does it have a common like a common pattern of it coming from its resistance to that support and bouncing? It did it here. I know it necessarily didn't touch, but it's still considered a bounce. It did it here to push up, so it does have that history where it could definitely push on up. So I'll be cutting my profits, most likely market open. Hopefully we'll be up 100 and something percent. Nice trade call out, by the way. Oh, thank you. Heck yeah. On AMD. Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, hey, PayPal was good too. Me and you both got in on PayPal. That was great. Did you see it today? Look, we got it on PayPal on this big push down, right? Like we literally bought puts right here on this push down. And I told myself, I was like, okay, PayPal would be good to trade from 104 all the way down to 101. It falls down to 101 perfectly, right? That call out was perfect. But then continues to fall the next couple of days. I couldn't imagine like holding through that because like, whoo. Yeah, we got out of it. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That was sweet. Yes, exited for that safety. That's exactly what I'm talking about too. Like, definitely took those profits just to why not, just to be up. I definitely like taking my profits. Definitely if it's like a 20% or higher, I'm out. Like I don't even question it. I love those days. So, yeah, hopefully we're up quite a bit on, I'm going to go look at /ES actually. Because since it's live, it's kind of like a live trading, here. Oh, look at that. Just this continuous trend down. Like imagine vice versa, right? Like imagine if this were to be trending up above the EMA, and then it were to maintain and hold that gap above the EMA. It might come up and peak this area, but we have a good chance this thing could really, really push down overnight. So we might be set. I don't like that past patterns show typical, show wicks here in the past in this area, but I don't think that's going to really matter right now. I think that this showed weakness and it retested, and that showed even more weakness, big time. So this could be just the beginning. We might get a push up, like around this area here. Clear my drawing charts. Yeah, we might get a push up to around this area here, past resistance. It tried to hold it right here. It closed above the resistance, tried to hold it, could not end up closing above it, so came back down and started resisting. Did the same thing there, pushed up, did the same thing here because then it fell right back down. So I think we're set on this put overnight. It is pretty low on the MACD and oversold on the RSI, so it is due to trend back up. Look at that trend down. Jeez. We were calling out the puts way up here today. We saw the resistance today here, fell down, waited for the retest, it retested, and we were all sitting here just hesitating, and some of us entered, and I'm sitting here hesitating, saying, I'm entering, I'm going to enter this put. All right, here I go, enter this put right here. All right, I'm going to enter this put, and then wait for it right here, push back up. Oh, all right, I'm going to enter the put, and I didn't enter the put, and it just kept going down, and then I entered the put down here. Smart, huh? So, yeah, let's go to, it's not all about swing trades either. What am I going to expect with SPY tomorrow, actually, really quick? Let's see here. I do not like that the MACD is already this low. This tends to happen overnight. Overnight, like for example, when the MACD was extremely high here during the day, overnight it barely fell, right? But the MACD completely reset. So a lot of times overnight, everything resets and without the price actually moving aggressively. But in my opinion, I think with the gap up we have on SPY, if you guys didn't see it before, I'll turn off my extended hours and you'll see it then. The gap up we have there that we never filled. Actually, there's two gaps, but I'm looking really at that big gap there. I'm not, trading on the gap, but I'm trading with it. As in, it is making me a little more confident. I will admit that. But we're starting to show signs of this gap. The gap down I was talking about is definitely possible that we might be getting. We're showing signs already that it could be trying to gap down. It seems like the momentum down is pretty aggressive here. Pretty aggressive. So I think, overall we entered at a really good deal when it comes to puts. If it were to be down here, it wouldn't be a bad area to enter for calls, for like swing trading calls. But let's go look at what I think might happen tomorrow. If we get it, it really depends what happens overnight. But based on your typical support and resistance. So let's just say, let's clear the chart here. Based on your typical support and resistance, one thing I have noticed is, let me go ahead and get this here. So you can see that in the past, it was a resistance here. When it hits this area, instantly got a red candle, a pretty large one right after. That showed a sign of resistance. It also showed resistance here, right here, a large candle, and resisted off of that resistance there. It also showed it here. It closed above it, but couldn't maintain above it. So it actually fell back below it and then resisted again here and fell. And then surprisingly pushed up and fell right back below it. So I think this was our first huge sign of weakness that we're going to now start going into a downtrend until it can start picking up its momentum again. But basically, if I draw the support area, which honestly, it's kind of at its support right now. Looking at, sorry, I'm trying to get this as accurate as possible. I guess I would draw it here, looking at the, it might be just a tad bit higher. Hang on, I got like OCD when it comes to this. We're just going to put it there. I know it's not perfect, but oh well. Resisted here overall, and then bounced, and pushed, but then came back down already to its support. So yes, there is a support here. Yes, we could get a push up to the 299.32 area. That is definitely a possible play out. I'm hoping for the best. Like I'm hoping that doesn't happen because I want it just to continuously push down. I don't want to have to hold through things like that. But if we do, then I guess we just do. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't tell it what to do. But it does show that, past patterns, like look at this. If you were to be going down this trend here, it comes down, holds this support here, pushes up, hits this resistance in this area. So it could hit that resistance and then comes down to break it. But looking at this, again, this pushed like three, I hope this makes sense. This pushed like three notches, like three sections basically. So this is a support to resistance, support to resistance, support to a resistance around that area. So that wasn't perfect, but you know what I'm talking about. So it pushed three. So it pushed through, broke resistance, pushed through, broke resistance, pushed through, and touched resistance. That was 3 touches. Now, if we were to consider this, since this didn't actually push to where it was before and it started falling, technically speaking, it fell 1 section, 2 section. It could fall again continuously without it actually bouncing. So we do have hope. And then if it did that, I'm sure with that gap up, it's going to, people are like, okay, it's filling its gap. And that's going to draw in some short buyers and whatnot. And then bulls are going to exit. So yeah, that's what I think might happen tomorrow. I think, honestly, let me look at this 1 hour with, we're going to be getting some choppy overnight mess here. I can just already tell, like the gap down here, it could even gap up here and then start pushing back down. I've seen it happen multiple times. In fact, it happened down here. You can see a gap up and then gap back down and then continue to push. Gap down, gap back up, and then continues to push down. So it could definitely do that. Let's see if maybe what's a good ticker we can go over really quick. There was, so we're in the put with SPY. I'm in a put with Microsoft right now that I hope I cut 100% tomorrow on. And then earlier in the Discord, in the live chat, we were talking about a few tickers, and I forget. We went over AMD and PayPal. I wanted to go over, I think Apple looks just like Microsoft right now. Very similar. Not just like it. Let me go to the 4 hour. Yeah, never mind. Apple does its own thing. It is not following anybody. Apple is the honey badger. Apple is the honey badger when it comes to the stock market. It literally does not care. So if I go to KO, check out Coca-Cola here. Coca-Cola is pretty high. I was thinking about putting them when they were in their push here, because the one reason I didn't was because I saw the upward trend, and I was like, maybe it has a lot of momentum. It could possibly push on up, because I don't trade Coca-Cola that often, so it might have patterns that I am not used to trading. Even though I'm reading them here, I don't know how they work live market movements. They're all slightly different. So I didn't end up putting it, but it would have been a good put. And I still think at this point, big head and shoulders. The left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, and it could follow down to its body. It could at least come down to its ascending support as a body. It's a little bit sideways and crooked, I know. It's not a perfect head and shoulders. But definitely could count it as that. I don't even like reading patterns that much, but it's definitely pretty high. We know that for sure. I'm just curious. I don't go to this chart that often. I was just, jeez. Yeah, Coca-Cola is killing it. No, they're pretty high. 4 hour. Netflix. Stay blue. Sweet. I like that name. Stay blue. Or green. Stay green. All right. Netflix. Oh my gosh. Who was in the Discord today that heard me was talking about Netflix? I was I'm sure a lot of people were in there, but I don't know if they're in here watching. But yeah, Netflix was definitely Netflix is definitely a good one. It looked like earnings pushed it up, but started falling right after the earnings was released and pushed. Just started literally collapsing. I find this one to be a possible good putt long term. It could push up. That's the reason I didn't take the position, because it could technically push a little bit tomorrow or so. It might not. It might open really low, but it has that chance too. But it can do whatever it wants, really. But I think it could push a little bit and then start pushing right back down due to its momentum down. It does have a big gap here that it never filled. I don't like playing gaps that much, but it's something to take into account. I look at it as an indication. If I go to the 1 hour here, you can see it's starting to show that sign of a curl. If I were to add my indicators, it's below the EMA. Typically when something's overextended and below the EMA, it's overextended with its good, it's a good deal for calls, technically speaking. If it starts showing signs of multiple green candles and it's overextended, that's a sign that this could be bottom. It's not wanting to break lows anymore, and it's becoming a good deal, because if you want to buy something, you want to buy it below average. So EMA is an exponential moving average. So if it's below the average by quite a bit, and then it's showing it's not wanting to break bottoms, then it could be a good call, which made this push up a little bit here. Same scenario could be going on here. If it holds right here overnight and doesn't break this area, if it breaks it, maybe it'll touch EMA overnight and then start continuing to trend down pre-market hours. That's what we're kind of expecting with SPY. So that could definitely happen there. Long term meaning about, I'd say 1 week. 1 week. 4 hour. In my opinion, I mean, overall, I personally wouldn't trust calls on Netflix. I'm not really sure if you're trying to, or if you're looking at calls or puts or any in general. My opinion, I think that it would be. I mean, it is starting to. I can see why it is technically like a good deal. Like if there was an average, like a simple moving average, 180 day, I bet it's below it. So it is slightly below it. Um, so you could use this the same way. I just don't use it as often. But looking at it, it could end up back at 260, definitely. Ooh, ooh, guys. Ooh, I forgot about Tesla. I wanted to check that out real quick. So yeah, I didn't put Tesla because I saw it could possibly push, which it definitely did do today. I have no idea why, but Tesla is like literally the inverse of SPY. I don't know what's up with Tesla. But yeah, so Tesla overall slightly showing this higher high and a higher low pattern. So when you get a higher high, you expect a higher low. So the higher low. Um, that's how you trade without indicators. It's the most simple way, in my opinion, to trade. Indicators, I used indicators today and still cut a pretty nice profit. Overall total, it was 29%. And then I add 1% to my end of the day trade, but then commission brought me down on that because it was a trade that I didn't even know I cut a profit on. Honestly, I thought it broke even because I exited very quickly before it pushed down. And right when I got out, it started pushing down. And I looked at it, I actually profited 1% from it, but the commissions that I bought like 29 contracts. It took out $29. So it put me down $5 on that specific trade. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Small account challenge fell there. I was down $5. Irritated me. But I mean, I ended the day green due to my swing trades, which was sweet. Oh, tomorrow's same day expiration. Keep in mind, guys, what is tomorrow? It's the 23rd, right? Yeah. So it's the 22nd right now. Tomorrow's the 23rd. That means that we are going to get earnings like crazy. In fact, this is kind of prove my point here. Let's see. It's Tesla. I hate it when that happens. Is Tesla releasing those earnings real quick? Let's see. Yeah, look at that. So we're getting a bunch of earnings releasing tomorrow, October 23rd. Keep it in mind. Tomorrow is same day expiration for us option traders. If you're not an option trader and you trade just shares, it's the same exact scenario. Like literally just be careful with it. Or you could potentially make good money. You can, high risk, high reward. It's how everything goes. Whether there's very good, there's very bad. Just keep it in mind and be safe. Let me see Amazon real quick. Yeah. So Amazon's here too. Amazon's not the 23rd. It's actually the 20. That's the one I was curious about. It's actually the 24th. Ooh, Amazon has a nice little descending pattern going here. We called this push up. This really big push up. We called the push down too. And then this push up was definitely due to its retest on the ascending resistance there. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. Hang on. So it kept this kind of ascending trend here. When it broke it, there's always usually a retest. So we called the push up. I don't think any of us got in on it. Well, yeah, a few of us did probably get on that trade, if I'm not mistaken. It pushed up and hit this area here as a new resistance or support. It fell back down, pushed up to retest and couldn't break highs. Fell back down. This will probably start breaking lows and coming back down a little more until it can, maybe it'll hold the low area. We don't know what the future is, but what we do know is when it breaks lows, how aggressive is it actually breaking those lows? Like for example here, if it came back down, like if we never saw that whatsoever, like if that was completely gone, I can make it disappear. Hang on. Magician. All right. So like if this were to happen here, like this, it pushed down, pushed right back up and pushed right back down. Basically, it broke lows here. Technically it was just in a downtrend, right? Then it started trying to retest. So after it retested, when it falls, what I'm trying to say is, look at that green candle there. So when it retested, where's going to be the next retest? How aggressive will the next fall be? Like, will it break lows? And if it breaks lows, how aggressive will it actually continue to trend? Or will it barely break the lows? Because if it barely breaks lows, and then you're getting another retest for another push up, even if it doesn't push very far, if you get more green candles, multiple green candles, and it barely broke lows or didn't break them, it just like set even, that's a good potential reversal, a complete reversal. In this situation, it came back down and tested again. And is it going to break lows here? we don't know. Look, two green candles. That doesn't mean anything just yet. It could still come on down. That's where I typically, you could still jump in a trade for like a day trade. If you were an options trader, you could definitely make quick like 20-30% profit. But I usually wait for it, and you could have entered that wick there. That would have been my confirmation. Okay, this thing's probably going to retest back up one more time. And boom, it did. And then based on past patterns here, I would sell because it's a typical resisting area. Bad deal, good deal, bad deal, good deal, bad deal. So I would sell there. And, you know, it might go sideways, but overall it kind of came back down there, of course. That's something I like doing with the whole support and resistance. And that's without the indicators. I'm going to go ahead and throw on these indicators here. Yeah, definitely looks like the beginning of a downtrend there on Amazon. That looks really nice, actually. So we got SPY, PayPal, AMD, Netflix, Coca-Cola, Amazon. I was curious about, oh yeah, we did Microsoft. I was curious about Goldman Sachs. I just wanted to kind of see real quick. We had a team member in our Discord. We were in the live chat, voice chat, and he was wanting to put this at the very top. He called it at the very top too. I just wanted to see the one day. Dang, that would have been a good one. Dang, he legitimately called it out too at the very top. That was awesome. Man, I love that. He just saw, due to past patterns with these indicators, why is it so overbought? It, you know, when it's overbought like this, even the smallest pullback down is a pretty decent trade. So he was tempted to take it. I think he actually took a position on SPY and ended up cutting like a 29% profit. Is what he said, I believe. I think he was today's winner. Although I did see, if you're watching the video, I did see B. Curry's profits. I didn't see it until just now. But what were you up again? You were up. I'm looking at Discord. You were up 227%, and then on the other trade, 74%. Like, heck yeah, dude. That's freaking awesome. That's sweet. That is nice. I'm up right now. Let me go check my Amazon, Let me go check my Microsoft real quick. I'm on my phone. This is my other account here. I'm up. Oh, okay. 86.42% is what I'm up on Microsoft right now. I've been putting it since since 139.73. Yes, that was correct. So that's very good. I'm hoping I can cut a 100% plus profit by the open tomorrow. And oh my gosh, I'm gonna freaking kill it tomorrow. You guys wait. The small account challenge. It's about to blow up. Watch this. Tomorrow is going to be a good trading day. I might even take my trade pretty early tomorrow, depending on the situation, of course. But SPY would definitely be my go-to. It's what I'm trading tomorrow. Look at this. So we got this pushed down. It broke lows. Pushed back up for the retest. So technically speaking, we would draw this here. Like if we were to just clear out everything, you draw it here. Because it came down and it pushed up. So that's obviously a support. Pushed up. How far is it going to break lows when it does come back down before it ever tries to push back up? Comes down, boom, pushed back up. So it didn't even break lows here. It made a higher low. So could be a reversal. It could, you know, and this is the 1 minute, of course. That doesn't mean that overall patterns are reversing there. It just means that, I mean, if anything, look at this. Look at the indicators. How overbought it is, even though it's such a low price in this descending trend, but yet it's so overbought and such a bad deal compared to like past patterns that it's just not, you know, it's becoming a better deal for our puts, basically. It looks like it's setting up to continue its fall down. And I'll be ending the video pretty soon. I do apologize, I made it a lot longer than I was expecting. I do this every single time. I get into my breakdowns. Is there any tickers any of you want to go over before I leave? I mean, I'll also be up if you guys are on my Discord. If not, the link's in the description. But I'll be up at like 9 o'clock pre-market hours, maybe even a little earlier than that, and I'll be in the voice chat. That's if anyone wants to join. You do not have to, but if you do, I'll be in there, and you guys can. I'm gonna be breaking down SPY and a couple other tickers myself. just to make sure everyone's wait a minute. Is the live stream still on? Let me see something. I think it went offline. Let me make sure. Hang on, sorry guys. Okay, no, it's still on. Okay, I had to update my thing. I was like, okay. Yeah, it cut off for a bit. Okay. That was weird. Whatever percent. 848, something like that. I'm up 86% though right now on Microsoft. And it's been nudging down slightly. So I might get to cut that 100% plus tomorrow morning. I really hope so. And then, oh gosh, our SPY puts. It's going to be nice. I can't wait for it to open. I'm very curious on what's going to happen there. I'm actually really excited on what's gonna happen there. Stable GDXJ. I'm in on a call. Curious what you see. Perfect. I'm down to look at that. I'll add it to my watch list if I find it good. I find it like a good trade. GDXJ. I keep cutting too soon. Oh, it's gonna be. It's a phase. You're gonna go through. I mean, there's no like, you know, cutting too soon is definitely not a bad thing. You want to improve how far you can stay in the trade, but it's definitely not a bad thing to cut too soon, because at least you're cutting those profits. You're consistently growing. Man, our team has been killing it. We have been, you know, growing and growing consistently, no matter how small the profits are, or no matter if it's just an 8% profit to a 20% profit. We've been growing like crazy. I got in at 35, but I should have sold at resistance. I see the resistance there too. What you were just talking about. I do see a resistance there. It could reject that. I'm gonna hope for the best for you. I've only looked at the 15-minute chart though. It has a chance here. So, and I've only looked at one chart. So hang on one second. Because basically what I'm saying is it could break that resistance. I use it as a support and then continue to trend up. So it could be good. I'm just gonna go to the 4 hour. Oh, okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Could be a potential, geez. Why is my... There we go. Could be a potential bull flag. I don't really like the shape of that bull flag, but definitely a little wedge here going on. I think you're good. I think that your call wasn't a bad idea, but I mean it is a little scary because of how close it's getting to popping out of this wedge. But I think, you know, possibly I would end up selling due to this little push here. I would end up selling somewhere around that price. Because, you know, resistance and previous support where it bounced here with the wick. So 36 by market open, or at least break even. It's a good habit. I cut too early today on my call and it was at the top before a huge fall. Oh, okay. I like Tyler. Nice. Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm going to actually add that to my watch list because I'm kind of curious on what's going to happen with that, because overall it looks pretty good. Ooh, we got past patterns here. 1 second. And of course I'm saying, like, I'm seeing a pattern. Okay, definitely last time I was in one of these descending resistance, it popped up upwards. That doesn't mean this one will, but it definitely could. It was in that descending kind of resistance there. This one's a bit steeper. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, so every time it hits this descending resistance, it definitely does usually rip out. So it could be a good, I see why you see value in it. Based on past patterns, look how low it is too on the MACD and the RSI, it's curling. The RSI showing that valid bounce around that 42 level, which is sweet. I'm using the trend line right now, so it looks terrible. Sorry, I did a price level, there we go. So overall, it's like holding around this area, that 40. When something's bullish, it bounces on the 40 with the RSI and goes overbought the majority of the time. When something's bearish, see how it bounced on the 40 here and just headed on over to overbought. When it's bearish, it does the inverse of that. It literally just does the complete opposite. So it rejects 60 and goes to oversold. And then when it's consolidating in a consolidation trend, then it'll go from oversold to overbought on the RSI. And remember, guys, don't look at the MACD as pointing a direction. Only look at it as levels. Neutral dill, based on past patterns, it has traded below, in this area. And then based on past patterns, it's traded way up here. So on levels, on the side of this here, we got our levels. This is a good deal, seeing the margin that it could definitely, it has that potential to push. Based on past patterns, it could push lower. There's always a lowest point. It could push lower. But based on past patterns, we're approaching the typical area it turns around with MACD and with RSI and with price action. So I see why, it is a decent deal. All right. But yeah, I live streamed way longer than I was expecting. So I do apologize, guys. I know some of you probably are busy and stuff like that. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, I don't have it open, or I would show you guys on the live stream. The link's in the description. You guys can join Discord. Feel free. It's 100% free. We're in the voice chat. I'm literally in there pre-market hours all the way until after the market closes, and I'll stay in there even after that. I'm always working, and I'm full-time on the market, so I just sit there all day basically and trade and do call-outs. We all kind of, just have fun. So if you guys want to join that Discord, definitely do so. If there's something wrong with the link, just let me know in the comments, and I'll direct message you, or I'll get you a link that works. It should work, though. There's an airplane going in the background. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I'll be doing another one tomorrow after the market closes, sometime at the end of the day, if you guys want to watch out for it. So if you found this valuable, please leave a like and, comment. Tell me how it was. And it would be awesome if you would subscribe if you find my videos valuable. I don't know if you guys have checked out any of the other videos, or if you guys are already in my Discord. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.